Richard Rudman lived in the Cal Fire Lake Chumash base camp for almost 2 weeks.
I saw the entire ridge line from Santa Paula all the way to Ventura in flame. It's a sight I never want to see again. It's a sight I can't forget. Other people saw it, but it looked like the end of the world. So I got to Gold Coast Broadcasting, set up my generator, and for 39 hours or so, got KVTA back on the air and the other stations so that they could do what they do best. Tom Spence and the crew at there did a wonderful job. But they did this. Okay, this is part one of the story, Antelope Canyon. I work as a contract broadcast engineer. My client is Ventura County, is Gold Coast Broadcasting, as I said. It's 3 days after the Thomas Fire began to tear apart lives and property. And I'm on Antelope Canyon Road in the back of KOA Campground. I'm trying to get to the Gold Coast transmitter broadcast site that has been running on its emergency power generator since Edison Power went off at 6:41 p.m. on December the 4th, as we all remember. The road to the site is blocked by a man in a CAL FIRE uniform, a very serious man. He walks up to my truck window and asks me in a very, 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 very serious tone and look why I'm there. It dawns on me that he and the others with him are in Antelope Canyon investigating where and how the fire started. I'm questioned. I apparently have the right answers. He lets me pass beyond the barricade. On up the road. Fire not only burns, it breaks things. I see that the winding, narrow, steep dirt road to the ridge top had been peppered by sharp shards of heat-exploded shale tumbling down from the hillside to wait for unsuspecting drivers and tires. There is the occasional lonely large boulder in my path set free from red-hot earth above the road. There are downed and dead Edison wires and the occasional tree branch that survived its initial trial by fire, only to be rudely uprooted, landing intact but broken and dying in the roadway. I drive another half mile through the oil field leasehold. Along the ridge top, a fallen Edison pole with wires still dangling blocks the road. I leave my truck and walk around the obstruction. I hike another quarter mile the rest of the way to the site, seeing and smelling the reckless results of wildfire driven by blowtorch winds. I see scary skeletons of leaf, bark, and dignity-stripped vegetation. I see dead, wind-borne embers and charcoal firebrands on the scorched bare earth. More blackened and heat-shattered rocks and boulders. Far too many tangled, broken power lines lying useless alongside and in the road. And in the distance to the east, towards Fillmore, the ongoing smoke and fury of Thomas rises ominously. I get to the site. All is well there. It's running beautifully. Generator is happy, but low on fuel. Problem for tomorrow. I head back to my truck, shaken and profoundly stirred by what I have seen, smelled, and sensed. Can you hold that for a sec? Right there. Okay. Okay, this is part two, Life in the Thomas Fire Lake Chumash Base Camp. I'm also a registered resource vendor for CAL FIRE for my large diesel generator. I have been mobilized to the Thomas Fire Base Camp at Lake Cachuma in Santa Barbara. My generator is supporting the people who created the large briefing planning maps by now everybody has probably seen on TV. Current camp population, more than 8,500 souls. I have a few moments before the day starts to take stock of the miracle of living in a functioning city built in only 1 day to support the people who are battling the west end of the fire. The seeds of strong sense memory to tell this story have been growing in my mind since I was called to help. Pre-dawn, I'm now out of my snug sleeping bag in trailer 48, bunk 18. Some of the firefighters and support people in the 41 other cramped cubicles in sleeper 48 are still not up. They are stacked like cordwood in Spartan cubicles, 3 high on each side of a 40-foot long trailer with a 2 narrow aisle. I now have a taste of what life must be like in a submarine. Muffled coughs and snores mixed with the drone of diesel generators. The mashed up soundtrack of a fire camp at rest, but never quiet. I push open the heavy door and step outside. The stars, lights, sounds, and smells of the camp in the early morning snap me wide awake. These sensations temper the brisk pre-dawn chill in the air as I walk down the metal trailer stairs. The sleeper trailers are lined up next to the fire engine parking lot. I find my way past powerful rows of engines lit by floodlights, painted in vivid reds and yellows. These engines seem to me to be alive, lined up to render mute but serious service to each other and their human partners. In a flash of what I can only explain as fantasy, I think they are praying for strength and fortitude to fight the common fire enemy. These brightly painted chariots of the sea grave and other metal nations, the wheeled weapons that battle flames, will go forth with their human partners at dawn to do their dangerous dance of containment and control. They will dance to the fiery beat of the elemental unleashed and as yet untamed. I walk the dark path, flashlight in hand, to check on my generator that's humming happily, but in need of more fuel that I will bring later. I walk past the huge lighted tent where the briefers and mappers are using ladders to hang up the giant maps behind the raised stage for the 0700 daily briefings. Then back up the dirt road along with human warriors from many nations. I line up with them to receive the bountiful blessing of camp breakfast. Zuni, Navajo, Cherokee, Chumash, Mupu, Christian, Jew, Muslim, and more. With hungry reverence, we accept and partake of camp-sized portions, massive mounds of scrambled eggs, slabs of ham, boundless bacon, crispy tater tots, and far too many and too much hot, strong camp coffee. I hope, no, pray that the spirit of this camp that has come together in common purpose will last and bring all peoples and nations closer to each other and to the source of it all, the Creator with many names. Hear the message that we are all brothers and sisters living on the same tiny blue ball, all challenged by the same forces of nature, seems to me to be so crystal clear. In our own ways each day, we fight our personal fires. Here in this camp city that is so much greater than the sum of its parts, I write this tribute to the real heroes of the Thomas Fire, those who rushed toward the flames, heat, and smoke to do battle at unthinkable personal risk, and to one fallen firefighter honored silently but deeply here in camp by the stark sight of black bands across silver and gold badges, Roy Iverson, who lives on in many hearts and minds and in the deep dedication of all those who willingly go forth together to fight the untamed beast.